Okay, so now my nails are ready for their primer, and notice how I didn't file or shape the nails yet. I purposely wait to do that until after I've applied my acrylic because I don't want to narrow down my nails. She wants square and we want to keep them square, and if I were to go in and file them now and then file them again after, they would just become more of like a coffin shape, and we want to try to keep them as square as possible for the client. That's also going to save you a lot of time because you're not repeating steps. I do like to go in and wet the rest of the nail before I apply my acrylic. What that's going to do is make the new bead that I apply seamlessly blend into the old acrylic and prevent any like air bubbles or gaps from getting caught in between and showing like that crease of where like the old acrylic and the new acrylic is. I'm also working with a much smaller bead here than I would if I was doing a full set, so I'm using a whole lot less product than I would for a full set. This is one of the reasons why fills are less expensive, is because you're using a lot less product, and if you're not repeating steps like filing before and filing after, you should be able to do it properly in a good amount of time. As long as the client didn't wait like 7-8 weeks to come in and see you, you shouldn't have to do a full rebalance. You just got to basically do a backfill, like what it's called, and then the rest of the acrylic, you just flow it down just to give it a nice little extra layer of strength. But still, you're using a whole lot less product than you would be for a full set, and you're also not having to do a full removal. I always try to get my acrylic as close to the cuticle as possible, and then I'll just go in afterwards as long as I didn't like flood it to clean up the sides with the tip of my brush. The one nail that I do always like to add a little bit of extra acrylic on is the pinky. I noticed the pinkies are the first ones that tend to break when doing a fill, so I will add a little bit more acrylic on there, but still nowhere near as much as I would be using for a full set. As much as I love the look and feel of a fresh set, over time, removing and prepping for a new set does take down a thin layer of nail plate. Even if it's not a lot, but you're doing that every single time, it is going to eventually damage your client's nails. Clients with thinner nail plates are a lot more likely to really hurt their natural nail if they do happen to hit their nail or break it off or lift it or something. If you're offering services, even if you're not licensed, one of your main priorities, aside from sanitation, should definitely be caring for your client's natural nail. In my experience, clients who get fills tend to be a lot more loyal. So especially during those slow seasons, you can always rely on them to make sure that they're booking for their fills and coming in to get their nails done regularly. Typically, when I do a fill, I would usually go in with a smaller brush so that I can not use as much monomer because I am working with smaller beads. But in this case, I did go in with a 16. This is the nail with the cracked side, so I am going to get a much larger bead than I am for the rest of them. So right away I'm starting to work it down, and to see the rest of it you can go to the third part.